That's a genius.
So can zero, if you think about mathematically, can zero ever equal one?
Well, it depends how many times you kind of put a zero into a zero.
Well, that's nothing. Putting it up like 0 times 1 is 0.
Yeah, but mathematically, but depending how many times you put a zero into a zero, you can make a whole kind of dimension, can't you?
But it's
So
nothing.
just to simplify, maybe for somebody watching, you're saying if we add nothing to nothing, maybe thousands of times, you're saying eventually it could give rise to something.
Scientifically, yes.
Scientifically, that's against science because science deals with the real world.
No.
And
If she's saying scientifically, then maybe
Yeah,
we
well,
should
I mean,
educate
like,
ourselves to that as well.
A zero, a one, a one, a one, and a zero is basically the formula for the entire world.
yes, but
So
one's
if
a
you,
something.
if you add a zero onto a zero onto a zero onto zero, what the fuck? You could make, excuse my language, sorry. You could make something inevitable. You don't know.
But
Is there any example in science where something comes from nothing?
So, well, like I was saying, the code of life is zero, a one, a one, a one, and a zero. So if you add the zero to the zero and then plus the one, you could create, I don't know, artificial intelligence.
But this code of life needs a coder, isn't it? It does, or did it just code itself?
Well, I mean, the code is the code. You can still attach it to astronomy. You can attach it to. You can think we're all in an artificial simulation at the moment.
But would you say a code needs a coder?
Not necessarily, no, because look at artificial intelligence. That's what I'm saying. And I know
That needs a coder.
You can absolutely argue that's man-made kind of a thing, but at the same time, if it was man-made, it was always there. It was always there for us to make. So
But hasn't artificial intelligence needed somebody to code it initially for it to then
I
grow?
see where you're going, but I do not believe that is the fact for humankind.
but why
That's
not?
that?
I see where you're going, but I do not believe that is the fact for humankind.
But why
No problem. But you started the code thing, isn't it? So I'm saying,
Yeah.
because initially we believe, well, let's just say for argument's sake, you're saying that us,
Okay,
the
yeah,
universe,
no,
came
fine.
from
If-
nothing.
if-
I'm saying we must have practical examples because science
give a code
has a
to something, then
falsification
fine.
method,
Fine.
isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So there's a falsification method, there's a
So
hypothesis.
fine, let's just say theoretically that we created the code for the human beings, but at the same
That's
time...
the thing that's up for debate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you could say also comes from nothing to verify that? Because science, you don't just take
Right.
one experiment and then create a theory. You need to, obviously, it's repeatable, isn't it?
Yeah, what we learn from our mistakes, don't we? And we make it better. That's what we build from. So somebody stumbles upon something or they create something and then we build upon that, right? So, yeah.
That didn't answer what I asked.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
No problem, no.
No.
No problem. So what I'm trying to say is, at the beginning,
Yeah.
you said it came from nothing and that's science.
Right.
I'm saying if it's science, it should follow the scientific method,
I think
and
the
the
reason-
scientific method is falsification, and I'm sure there could be multiple examples of things coming from nothing. So can you give me one other example that where something comes from nothing?
I can't right now, no. And I see what you're saying, but I don't agree that somebody just created this and then was like, okay, 75
That's absolutely
billion
fine.
years ago.
That's absolutely
It's like,
fine. Yeah, you don't have to. But what I'm saying is, when you're saying something coming from nothing is science,
Yeah.
and it doesn't follow the scientific method, there's no other example of it, then we need to analyze that claim of us saying that it's science. Do you see? That's what I was saying.
Well, I don't know if we do, because there's an awful lot of research out there and there's an awful lot of like study to show us that yes, there is.
Nobody's got a single example where something comes from nothing.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, in this particular moment, yeah, sorry for my words, and yeah, you don't have to hold on to that particular thing of something coming from nothing. But from science, there's a whole lot of research there. There's a whole lot of evidence there to show us that evolution is actually a thing. That particles came from
Evolution
certain things.
comes after the Big Bang, isn't it? After you found the first self-replicating DNA, the first organism with consciousness, as it were. that lives and breathes, sort of thing. Yeah. But before then, you've just got matter. Like the first thing from the Big Bang we know is helium and hydrogen, isn't it? So we're just dealing with elements. That's what we're dealing with. So evolution comes later on. But initially, we're talking with the initial.
Those elements are literally part of that evolution. So how is it not
But where do those elements come from?
But those elements.
space?
So those
But you
elements.
see, you're making that your God. Because back in the, you know when I said,
No, I have no God.
No,
There's
but-
no
but-
God whatsoever.
but you know what
It's a
you're
simile. He's saying it in a
but you know
simile.
what you're doing, Emily? When
Right.
you're saying in space, you're saying random particles.
But that's not what I said. I just gave you an answer for that particular
Yeah.
question. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that space is my old God or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
But
giving you a
yeah,
particular
yeah,
question
but-
for that
yeah,
answer
but do you
is the
think-
fact that where you asked me where matter
Yeah.
came from, and I
So
told
if it
you
comes from space, then do you not believe space gave rise to the whole thing, like the Big Bang? The space caused it?
Do I think that
Space
space
caused
caused
the
the
Big
Big
Bang.
Bang? I think the two planets colliding together caused the Big Bang.
But that's two things colliding. We're talking about, you said from
These are
nothing.
planets, isn't it?
Yeah, the planets,
Yeah,
they're
that's
things.
exactly what
I don't think that's the Big Bang theory
No,
of
the Big Bang theory
planets.
is not like that.
They believe in the primary nebulae, and then energy being created
Yeah.
from atoms. But again, our point is the primary nebulae and
I'm completely lost.
no
about
problem,
what's
no
happening
problem.
Right here.